All right. So we are still talking about line. This will be our last kind of line project. You with us, Bryce? Or are you in TikTok land over there? We are going to be focusing on line again and some designs again. So you are going to start out with a simple line drawing of an animal of your choice. Okay, so, and if you guys can't see this, you can move if you need to. So, I started this last night. This was before I did anything else to it. So I did my simple line drawing of a wolf. The way that I found how to kind of do my drawing is I looked up just animal silhouettes, and it shows you just kind of like shadow images of different animals that make them easier to draw the outline, the contour lines of. And then just kind of like you did in your squares, you are then going to divide up your paper. So I chose to do a lot of these different circular patterns. You don't want to divide it up, like it's okay if you have a few small areas like this, but you don't want to divide it up so much that that's all you have is those teeny tiny little spots. You want some bigger areas as well, because each one of these areas you are going to be filling with a different Zentangle design. So a Zentangle is basically, it's kind of like doodling almost. So there are different patterns that people have done. You can look up online. That's why I said you'd want to have your Chromebooks today and tomorrow while we're working on it. You can look up Zentangle designs, or you can kind of create your own. And the way that you do that, let me switch here. So that was before I added any designs. And then this is, you can see after I did add some designs with my Sharpie. So, and I'm going to tell you, you are going to mess up your designs sometime. And what you have to do when you mess them up is you just have to figure out a way to make it work. So for example, on this one, which this is still not quite my favorite, what do you think of it, Thomas? Do you like that one? This one? So I started something and I just did not like the way it looked, and so I just kind of kept messing with it and adding things and finally came up with something that I could at least stand, okay? Same thing right here. I tried something, didn't like it, I ended up with these tiny circles. But basically, if you're creating your own design, you start with a shape and then you just start adding details to it, different lines. And they are it's a repetitive pattern. So I might decide I want to add something like this to each of the points. Right, and then depending on how detailed, which they do need to be somewhat detailed, they don't all have to be, you know, super detailed, but then maybe I want to add something like this in this area. So again, it's just kind of doodling and coming up with some kind of design. But like I said, if you look up Zentangle, you can also find some designs that other people have done that you can then copy. So today, your first step is going to be to find what animal you are going to use, and then you are going to draw that animal and then split it up. When we get done with this in it is actually gonna look, we're gonna be doing positive and negative space. So you can see we have the one side where our Zentangle designs are. We are going to be cutting our shape out using an X-Acto knife, and it's gonna go on black paper. And then on the other side, it's going to be the black paper. We're going to have a cutout of our design flipped, and we're gonna do the Zentangle on the animal on that side. So we're doing positive and negative space. So here the positive space is gonna be the bird, the negative space is the background, but then on this one, we're highlighting that positive space kind of more like a negative space. So it can be whatever kind of animal you want. You don't want to pick something that's too difficult to draw. It should be kind of a simplistic silhouette. All right, so you guys can start figuring out what animal you want to do.
I go.
And you can see that mine does not take up a ton of my paper, right? We want to leave room for the designs as well. So I will pass the paper out to you while you figure out what animal. I would draw your animal in pencil first, then trace with the Sharpie, but everything else you're going to be doing directly with the Sharpie.
What did you say? Animal silhouettes?
Huh?
Did you say animal silhouettes?
Animal silhouettes. And silhouette is a weirdly spelled word. It's S-I-L-H-O-U-E-T-T-E. So it's like silhouette. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a great one. That's an easy outline. You want something you're going to be able to recognize without its features. What's it look like? Oh, okay. Two. Baby goats are cute. And I will put my